Streaming. Oh, I'm tired. Long week. Notification squad. Probably coming in. Incoming. I'm gonna be freaking out because I'm playing Don't Starve. What the hell do you want, Willow? What are you doing? Okay, dude. Notification squad! What's up? Bokai Android, Alex, Madness, Omaro, XD Gabe, Selfless Gaming. What's up, guys? Why am I so injured? I need resuscitation. Holy shit! It's a lot of food. This is gonna spoil. What am I even doing? Turkey dinner? I don't know what day it is. It's 35. I think it was summer. Shit, summer's over? Fuck yes. No more dragonfly coming to kill me. What's up, dude? Hey, Rob. Oof. That means it's fall. It's beargar hunting season. I already unplugged that wormhole. And I guess I can do, some combat on him. So I guess, like, what character am I playing? I'm playing Willow. I am tired. I just woke up, dude. I took, like, a nap. I was fucking tired. I don't know why they never fix that thing where it's like you're constantly skipping spots for things because it's like it won't let me plant next to here. Like it seems like such a small thing to fix, to be honest. But they never fix it. I need to make a new hand map probably. Withered. I don't know if those are withered because temperature or not. I have a chest, right? Yeah, I do. Yes. Yes. Oh shit, I have a lot of stuff to do. Oh my god. It's fall though, so I can basically do it all. Yo, TM. How's everyone doing today? Did I not get a walking cane? No, it was summer. What the hell am I talking about? Where are the walrus spaces? That's something I need to sort out. Because winter will be coming and I do need a Tam O'Shanter because I'm playing What's-Her-Face, Willow, and Willow sucks when you don't have Tam O'Shanter. So there's none here. This could be an exploration day then. And then do some other dual state stuff later because yeah, I think we're doing an exploration themed time. We're gonna go get some food too. Got plenty of food on me right now. There we go. Fires and stuff. Prototypes. Good. Good. Ah, go away. You gain sanity, but like such a small amount that it's like kind of negligible. Like honestly, I'm gonna gain like 1 sanity every like minute. It's not really helpful. I think it actually is 1 sanity per minute. It really isn't that helpful. So I'd advise against like just walking around with the lighter for that reason. Just because it's not really super helpful. Not that it's bad. Kill him. Pretty much just woke up too. Sounds cool. I just took a little nap because I knew I was gonna be streaming for 4 hours, and that's a lot to stream. Honestly, it's so much. 4 hour streams are actually pretty hard. Like I watch some streamers who stream for like 5 hours, and it's like, why are you only streaming for 5 hours? All you do is stream. Like that's your job. You should stream more. But it's like it's really hard to stream for 5 hours. It's a lot. Like my head starts to hurt. So it's just taking a break between editing, because I wake up early now on weekends to start editing and stuff. Oh my god, 11 o'clock at night? Well, thank god it's not 11 o'clock at night, because I have to be up at 6 tomorrow. I'll probably let these rot. Now we're just exploring. We wanna find out where all the walrus hunting camps are before winter, and we wanna make sure where we know everything is. Since we're playing single player, there's really not much that can go wrong. I almost got killed by the dragonfly last time because I'm a shitter and I actually like can't kite him without like obstacles. I don't have extra movement speed. If you have extra movement speed and a walking cane, you can kite him. But it's really hard because he moves while hitting, so you have to hit him and then switch walking cane and go. So it's like boom, boom. So it's pretty hard to get used to unless you've recently practiced or done it. And I haven't done it in like a year. Thanks. I'm glad you like my videos. A lot of people tell me that, and it really helps to hear that. Free fucking gold. Like, okay, so magnoluminescence blueprint. Honestly, this is one thing I really wish they changed about the game. I wish there was some way to actually prototype like a magnoluminescence. Actually, I'm lagging, so they might actually hit me. You never know. Games handle lag differently, and in this game, you can actually get hit by things that normally would not be able to hit you because you're lagging. It really sucks. But yeah, you can't actually prototype anything from the ancient pseudoscience station, even if you get a blueprint, which it like seems like the blueprint would either not drop, like they'd make it so you can't drop this blueprint, or it would do something, but instead it just does neither. See, like, no sanity gain, because I didn't actually prototype anything, even though I can't make a magnoluminescence. So it's kind of like a useless item. It is nice, like, though, if you want to, like, have a museum or something to, like, collect those. But I don't really do that normally. This might be a game where I make a bunch of cool stuff, but I'm probably not going to make, like, a mega base ever. I don't like making mega bases by myself because it's a lot of work. But since I'm streaming for fucking 8 hours a week, I might need something to do, actually, so that's the gate. So maybe I'll make a mega base. My first mega base. Never really made one. I just make functional bases and stuff. And you make like you can make pretty good farms and stuff. Video quality seems pretty okay. It was actually really fucking awful last night on Overwatch. I watched it later, like, cause some people are saying, hey, it's fine. Some people are saying it's not. So it's like, I don't know. Maybe those people just don't really know. Roblox stream? Fucking never. Are you kidding me? I'm not doing that shit. The Lights Out series? I'm not sure if I want to continue that on video or on stream. I really don't know. It's hard to pick because I don't like to go back and forth because it's kind of weird when you're watching it, the series, and like I'm responding to people who aren't actually like I'm responding to people. So I have to put the comments on the video so it makes sense when you're watching it. But I don't do that when I'm streaming. I just usually read what people say. Or I have to read what people say. I don't do it usually, and I gotta get used to it. When you're streaming, if someone says something, oh, I need to not get regret. See, like, on the web, you can actually get really And once you get a lantern, the lighter is kind of obsolete. It's nice when you're at full sanity and you don't care, but like anytime you need to actually be seeing things, it's kind of obsolete. Free resources. could actually get gears and stuff too. Though that won't happen, because they're very low percent chance. Give you some tips on don't starve because you're really bad. I hear that a lot, and a lot of people have been like, people got pretty pissed off at me because they asked for some tips, and I was like, no. But like, how do you give tips? If that makes sense. It's hard to just like say like, can you give me tips on this game? Because like I don't really know what's wrong. Like if you have specific questions, that would help, and I could definitely talk about that. But like if you don't know what you need help on, it's really hard to give you tips. Because like, are you starving to death all the time, or are you completely fine with hunger and you're just fighting all the time? Fishing rod blueprint, that's what you can actually learn. I'll normally like save my blueprints, but see, I just want to show that actually will work. If you get a blueprint or something, you can just return the thing and do it. But yeah, if you have specific questions, that's easier for me to answer than like, I'm not good. Can you make me good? Which generally I really can't do. I would. It's not like I don't want to. It's not really a question you can answer. Food problems? Food problems are actually probably pretty easy. It really depends on the character you play a little bit, because some characters have like a stupid easy time with food and others don't. So like if you're having food problems, there's a couple good characters to play. I'd say Wigfrid is probably one of the better characters to play for food problems, as counterproductive as that seems, because she can only eat meat. One of the reasons she's good is because she's really good at fighting, and fighting is like by far the best way to deal with food problems. So let's go over a couple food problems. One, pick up food everywhere you go. So these cactuses will only damage me 1 because they have armor on, and they only damage 5, so they're really, oh actually they give me 2. So they're not doing much to the armor. Let's get these guys to leave me the hell alone. So, for food, I genuinely don't focus on food ever. What I do is when I'm out, I'll just pick up food. Especially in the beginning, and then later you can kind of like solve food. I'm explaining to someone, for those of you who just joined, like food problems and don't starve. One, you can actually just watch my series, and I don't want to be like that guy that's like, just watch my thing, but I kind of go over a lot of food stuff in my first one. So if you just want to see about food, then that's a good one to watch. But I'll go over some of it now while exploring. So I just want to generally pick up food while I'm out. Cactus flesh is actually really good for sanity, so I'm going to be grabbing some of that because it's basically free. Because it'll do a little bit of damage to my football helmet, but who cares? So what I want to do is, when I'm out, I want to pick up any food that I see. So I want to pick berry bushes or dig them, and I want to pick up carrots. And then if I see any enemies fighting, I want to pick up that stuff. But I want to be careful. So like, if I'm passing enemies fighting, ooh, I'll murder him. Oh shit, I'm like full up. What do I not want? I genuinely don't want stingers right now. Yeah, someone knew. Food can be a problem, but honestly, it shouldn't be a problem if you know some things about the game. It's very easy. And when you don't know anything about the game, it's like hard to be like, well, yeah, just do this, because you don't know anything. But let's go over some basic stuff. So you want to use a crockpot. That's like the first thing. You have to use a crockpot. Very early game, just like pick berries and carrots up and eat them, because there's so many that you're not going to run out. And then, I can only answer one question at a time. I'll get to it. I'm talking about food and stuff. Oh, shit. That can actually happen, by the way. You get spiders and stuff out of these. And then, you want to focus on monster meat, because that's super easy to get early game. And berries are super easy to get. Okay, so gears are like basically the best thing you can get out of these. So, we don't need petals, or dark petals actually, for that matter. Are these dark petals? They are. What do I do? You want to pick up monster meat, you want to pick up berries, you want to pick up carrots. If you see mobs fighting, you want to pick up their stuff. If you ever go past a swamp, very carefully go through the swamp, and you will see like a spider's den, and you'll be fighting a bunch of merms or a bunch of tentacles, and when they like die, you want to like walk over and pick that food up. But you want to be careful because merms and stuff, after they're done killing a thing, they'll aggro onto you and they'll try and kill you. So that's how you get a bunch of food, and then you dig up berry bushes, and then you gotta fertilize them when you plant them near your base. To fertilize them, if you pick a bunch of flowers not near your base, those will eventually turn to rot. Or if you like pick a bunch of extra berries and stuff, they'll turn to rot too. So you get rot from a bunch of different ways. Or if you're near beefalo, when you're walking by beefalo, they'll just naturally have manure, so you can get that. There's a couple more advanced ways, but I don't really want to talk about the more advanced ways right now. And then what you need to do, very early game, your focus should be... Oh, lag? I don't know. Your focus very early game should be to basically immediately get enough gold and wood and rocks to make a science machine, which is very easy to do. And then when you do that, you want enough gold, rocks, and wood to make an alchemy engine, which is pretty easy to do. Once you get one of these biomes, you want to farm up enough gold. You need 6. You need 5 gold. You need 4 wood and 4 rocks for this, but then you need 15 rocks and 16 wood for the alchemy engine. So like you can get that on the first day. Okay, so to review, pick up all the food as you go. You're going to pick up monster meat from killed enemies. And then you're going to pick up a bunch of other stuff like berries. You're going to pick up carrots. You're going to pick up stuff from monsters. I wouldn't pick cactuses early game because you probably don't have armor and it's going to hurt you a bunch. But when you have armor, pick cactuses. You can kill bees, but you probably shouldn't. And then once you're more comfortable killing mobs, you can just kill mobs. So let's on our way back, let's talk about that a little. Spiders are so easy to kill. So you can kill a bunch of spiders very early game. I should explore this so that I don't have to come back. So when you see spiders early game, you're going to kill them. The good thing about that is they'll always be tier 1 dens very early in the game, which means that they're going to be... I don't actually need this right now, but let's focus, heal, and then hit a bunch of necessarily. As long as you're running straight away from mobs, you're usually fine, unless you're slowed or you have like pretty bad frame lag, or they're coming at weird angles like that. You want to be moving straight away. Okay, so I'm just gonna ditch all these guys, but I want to explore, so that's why I'm coming through. There's a lot of them. I generally don't want to fight all these guys at once. That'd be pretty bad. They'll get bored, basically. See, when they start roaring like that, if I get far enough away, they'll forget about me. Or if there's another mob nearby, when they do that, that's when they're going to re-aggro them. Okay, so we've explored that. So let's go find some spiders, and let's show you how to deal with spiders. There's some spiders right here. I can't do this at night, and if there's a bunch of dens really close, don't do this at night. During the day, this like yellow part, spiders won't come out of their nests. During the evening, they'll start intermittently walking out their nest, and during the night, they're pretty much all out of their nest walking around. So here's a spider. So if I walk near him, it'll piss him off and he'll follow me, right? Now the cool things about spiders is, if you hit them, they can't do anything because they have a flinch ending. So I can beat him to death with a lantern, or my fists, very easily. And spiders have a 50% chance of dropping monster meat. So if I let him follow me away from these guys, I can just beat the hell out of him. He's gonna go back now because it's day. But let's show you this. So now that you have, there's gonna be tier 1 hives and not these ones. If I attack on the webbing, if I attack on these spiders, it'll aggro all the spiders. They'll get pissed off and they'll all come out. So don't do that. And there's spider warriors. Spider warriors are harder to kite. I can kite them fine, but if you're new, don't try it. And killing butterflies too, when you cross by them. I'll show you how to kill butterflies when I get back. Those are very, very easy to do. They give you a shitload of health and a ton of hunger. You just walk up to them and kill them. They do the spiral thing. It's so dumb. All right. So if I walk onto the web, though, 3 will come out. And if I don't hit them, no one else will come out. And if I stay close enough, they'll get pissed off and they'll follow me. Now, since I can stun lock them, what I can do is I can just hit one and walk away. No, shouldn't have done that either. Anyway, without all those mistakes, I wouldn't really be taking much health damage. Okay, so butterflies, to go, they'll do this circle thing. When they're at the top of the circle, you want to just run towards them and press Control F to hit them. And then eat them. And you get, like, a good amount of health and everything. Okay, so spiders, follow them out. When they're not on the web, hit one, back off. And then stun lock. If there's one, you can stun lock. The cool thing about Tier 1 dens is there's only 3 spiders, so you get to practice that 3 spider thing. Alright, so kill the spiders. Kill the butterflies, who will come out of flowers, so don't pick flowers near your base. And you get a bunch of health from that. And then the second thing I talked about is the alchemy engine. You need to get the alchemy engine as fast as possible, find a spot for base, or don't really find a spot for base, but just kind of have a spot that you're going to come back to and build the alchemy engine. Now, the first and the most important thing you ever make in Don't Starve is a crockpot. And that is because that just basically makes it so everything that you're going to eat, instead of getting like 5 hunger out of it, you get like 60 hunger out of it. Like, you really just like up your hunger value by so much by having a crockpot. Like, I have too much food. I have 3 crockpots right now. You only need 1. I do this so I can cook faster, because I'm going to be cooking a lot of stuff. So, now that we have a shitload of monster meat, right, we're going to be making a couple of different things. The easiest thing to make is meatballs. And if you're new, you want to be making meatballs all the time until you learn about new foods to make for specific situations. Meatballs don't give you a lot of sanity, they don't give you a lot of health. But they do give you sanity and health compared to eating the components of meatballs, which don't give you that much. So you open the crock pot, and you're going to do 1 meat, like this, in any 3 filler. So berries are a filler. We could do 2 of those, 1 of that, and a meat. We could do 1, 2, 3, and we could do a small meat, and that'll get you meatballs. And it's going to average out the spoilage of the things that were cooked. So some of them were kind of spoiled, so it's not complete, but it's pretty good. Like that. So we can use these. And okay, if you use more than 1 monster meat, right, you get monster lasagna. So you can only use 1 monster meat, but fortunately, meatballs only requires 1 meat, or half a meat actually, so you can use a morsel. So you can make meatballs, and meatballs restore a shitload of hunger. It restores 65. Monster lasagna, on the other hand, loses a bunch of sanity and stuff like that. I'm actually not going to eat that, because I don't want to lose a bunch of sanity. And see how I have like a ridiculous amount of meatballs, and I don't even care, and I'm just letting them spoil? It's because they're so easy to make. Now the next thing you want to make is you want to make butterfly cupcakes. There's no more butterflies left. So you can go to the wiki and read about the recipes, and it'll tell you how to make everything. And that's a really, really good way to learn the game, is by going on the wiki, because like knowledge about the game is what allows you to play it well. So like knowing how to make butterfly cupcakes and how to make meatballs is really what like is going to drive you to being successful in this game. So that's hunger. You want to know what recipes to cook. You want to rush to get a crock pot, and then you want to use the crock pot with everything. You don't want to eat ingredients. If you watch the series that Don't Starve Together, I play with Blaine Murphy, you'll see that we talk a little bit about playing with people, and it's really annoying when we go and get a bunch of ingredients, and you come back and the person you're playing with has eaten all the ingredients instead of cooked them. Because what they're essentially doing is they're literally throwing away hunger points. Like, all you're doing is improving the food by cooking it. You get so much more. These berries, if I ate 3 berries and then ate a cooked piece of meat, it would be so much less than meatballs. So that's how you cook. And then you can cook stuff. Some stuff will give you crazy sanity, and some stuff will give you like crazy health. But I don't want to go over all the recipes. Okay, let's talk about some of the other stuff people ask me. Well, going to explore more. I do need to see up here, and we do have a shitload of meatballs, so let's take those. Okay. So Shipwreck for the iOS. I hope it comes out soon. I don't play for the iOS, but I did buy it for the iOS, even though I have no intention of playing, because I knew people were going to ask me about it, so I wanted to like get a feeling. My impression is it's pretty much the same game with a little bit less, but the controls are fucking awful. Oh my god. Like, it's not that the controls are particularly bad, it's just like, that is not a game meant for the iOS, because clicking is already usually worse than using a keyboard, but clicking with your hands, it's like, unless you have like an iPad or something that's huge, like a tablet, playing with a phone sucks, because when you're kiting, it's really hard to click on the thing you're actually mean to click on constantly, so that sucks. Seeds do not count as filler. You cannot put seeds in a crock pot. You cannot put 2 things that count as filler that are really, really good is, now that you bring it up, is sticks count as filler. So you can use sticks in recipes, which is insane, and that's because fish sticks require sticks, so they made sticks as filler. One thing to note is sticks, every recipe will have what it requires. It'll have what it can't have, and so meatballs can't have sticks, so you can't use sticks as a filler for meatball. If you cook things and you don't do a proper recipe, you'll just get mush. So see how this is like a tier 1 den? There's only 3 spiders in there. Those spiders are from that den right there. So I can pretty easily do this, right? I'm using a lantern, which does like no damage. See how easy this is? So look up the recipes on the wiki and see what requires what and what you can use for what. You can use ice as a filler too. Ice is another good one that people don't think of. That's because a couple recipes require ice, so they made that a filler too. But like this big group of spiders is pretty easy. And I'm actually going to do a fighting guide. That's one thing I'm writing right now. So if you're interested in this, I'll show you how to do it very easily with my fighting guide. I'll show you the difference between kiting and yeah. So I'm pressing Control F. Fuck, dude! I meant to grab the meat. That's why clicking can be a little dangerous. You can misclick. Okay. So that's a bunch of questions. Hey, Cody Gwynn, Squid Cat Gamer. Let me check out what people asked. Chester's. Ooh, okay. I want to answer people's questions. Does Chester spawn randomly, or is there something I can do to spawn him? You have to find his eye bone, which is randomly placed. Once you pick up his eye bone, he'll come to you. And then when he dies, it'll take a couple days, and he'll respawn at his eye bone. So he can't ever really die permanently. Expand the backpack. Bokite Andrew is right. You can get a Krampus sack, which is really good, or you can get a piggy sack. I don't go for the piggyback because speed is probably one of the most important stats in the game. Like, that's how I feel. So limiting your speed for extra space doesn't really make much sense because you're actually limiting, like, you're not really limiting your space, but you'll get less done. So why would you want to get less done if you can carry more stuff? Unless you really know you're going to need the extra spots for, like, a trip. This is why Willow's fucking sucks, dude. Oh my god. I get a little wet and my sanity drops, and like I can do. I'm not to the point where I have a Tam O'Shanter because I started in the winter, so it's like there's really no great way to like maintain a shitload of sanity. And standing by a fire, like everyone tells me to stand by a fire. Look how much sanity I gain. Still at 59. Like, I would sit here for days to get my sanity up. You don't want to do that. Do not sit in front of a fire for days to get your sanity up. So now I just have to deal with having low sanity. Or I'll light things on fire. The Krampus sack is really hard to get because there's no good way to just like get it. You have to be lucky when killing the Glommer. There's a couple ways to farm it, and I'll actually probably do these in this playthrough. And basically, any way you can kill the Glommer faster than normal is a way to farm it. There's a couple glitch ways to do it, and then a couple like exploitive ways to do it. These green mushrooms would up my sanity like crazy, or the cactus flesh that I got. But I didn't cook any of those. So now I just want to like not light things on fire. And it's raining, but so mildly that I didn't bring anything. Any other questions? My favorite character is WX78. Actually, my favorite character is probably Wigfrid, or I don't know. I really like Wigfrid. I really like Wolfgang. But I think WX78 is the best character, and that's because he's the fastest character. And this is a game where speed will determine how fast you get things done. Because honestly, oftentimes you're running from next thing to the next thing, and it makes kiting easier. And you can actually do some enemies in cycles you wouldn't be able to attain if you didn't have the extra speed. There's so many green mushrooms. Oh my god. Okay, red mushrooms too. Pick these. Don't dig them because they'll grow back. Those count as vegetables. You can use those as filler. Hey, holy chainer. Woodlegs. I don't like woodlegs. I actually don't have them unlocked currently. But I played him. I don't like him. He's fun to play as in Shipwrecked, but he's not good in Reign of Giants at all. Like, he's just, like, stupid to play because he literally doesn't do anything that helps Reign of Giants. So, like, you can't play crossover worlds with him really well. It's not that you can't. It's just, like, it's, like, unnecessary challenge. It's like playing West, but worse because you're just constantly going insane. And it's just annoying. It's still better than Willow. Willow, I think, is a really bad character to play. And I think a problem is a lot of people play Willow because they're new and they have trouble with sanity. So instead of learning how to deal with sanity, the easy way, they like pick a character who gains sanity, but she has such low sanity that it's like you're constantly fighting yourself if you're playing Willow. And she likes shit on fire when you're at low sanity. Other players can actively not do anything about their sanity and be completely fine. She can't because you eventually are going to have to go into one of your chests to get items. And if you do that when you're at 60 sanity, there is a small chance that you light your chest on fire. By small chance, I mean it's happened twice in this game. I haven't been playing that one. It's like day 39. And I manage my sanity really well. I'm usually never below 60 sanity. And when I am, I'm usually really careful. Like, I won't walk by things like this. So I've been managing my sanity really well, and I still end up below 60 sanity every now and then. Everyone does. People tell me they just stay above 60 sanity. That's bullshit. Until you get a Tamo Chancer, there's no way you could just stay above 60 sanity permanently. And even then, you have to spend time. There's no way you just casually stay above 60 sanity for the entire course of a game. You have to actively try, and that's wasted time. It's more wasted time than you would waste time from just dealing with shadow creatures or not dealing with sanity. And since speed and time are two important things, the only reason I think speed is a good stat because it makes things faster. So time is really important because, you know, if you're new, you want to spend a long time, like, preparing for the first season. So having time to prepare is really good. Prepare for stuff, prepare for bosses, prepare for hounds. And the faster you are, the more time you'll have. That's why I think speed's important. So having to spend time dealing with your sanity when you could otherwise not be dealing with your sanity, like just let your sanity get to 30 and then prototype a couple things. And some characters have like 200 sanity, so you have 170 sanity to lose before you have to start gaining it. Whereas Willow, you have 60 sanity to lose before you have to deal with it, or you risk lighting your base on fire. Yeah, so cooked red mushrooms and raw red mushrooms both suck. Don't eat either. And I find a lot of, like, I just demonstrated this, but people are like, well, I just stand next to the fire at night for Willow, but you're sacrificing time because you could be walking around and exploring instead of standing by the fire and doing nothing. See, that's going to spread, right? if this is a kind of a cheese, but if you save and quit, everything that's on fire instantly burns, but the fire can't spread. I don't want to burn this forest down for no reason. I like my world looking natural. So if I don't have to burn a forest down, I'm not going to. But like that's the problem with Willow is like if I went back to my base, that could have been my base and you'd just be fucked. There's really no way you can lose late game unless you burn things down. Like unless your base gets set ablaze, there's not really any way you can like lose. So let's have a little lesson. Another lesson. Fun times, and I'll answer some questions. Yes, so if you look on the wiki, you can see every mushroom behaves differently if it's cooked or not. So let's have a little lesson. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna play Oxygen Not Included later probably. Unless like people are really digging this. Alright, so red mushrooms. Poisonous. They hurt you. They're cooked. They hurt your sanity. They kind of suck. There's nothing really good about them. They give you a little bit of hunger and sanity when they're uncooked, but they hurt you. And they give you less sanity, but a little bit of that. So they're really terrible. Use them in the crock pot. Blue mushrooms. Cooked. A little bit of hurt, a little bit of sanity. Not very good. Okay. Green mushrooms, uncooked. 50 sanity. If you ever want to lower your sanity, eat a bunch of those. Alright. I'm going to have to deal with this now. Mini lesson inside the lesson. Just kill those guys. It's not that hard. Alright. Now, blue mushrooms, health and hunger, a lot, costing sanity. Green mushrooms, bonus sanity. Pick green mushrooms always, when you can. Use them to increase your sanity. Okay. And if you don't remember it, check the wiki. Don't eat red mushrooms, eat raw blue mushrooms, and eat cooked green mushrooms. I wouldn't say, Boca, I wouldn't say to cook blue mushrooms. They have better stat gains when they're uncooked, but the problem is they cost sanity. But what you do is the order is important. So if you notice, I ate that in an order where I ate all my sanity reducing stuff first, then ate my sanity gain stuff. If I gained a bunch of sanity and then reduced it. So basically you eat all the blue mushrooms, then you eat all the green mushrooms. You eat all the raw blue mushrooms, then you eat your cooked green mushrooms. So you have a net gain of sanity, health, and hunger. Except for if you eat the green mushrooms after, they cost 1 health, but honestly if you're not at 1 health, it's not a big problem. But yeah, if you're at 1 health, don't eat green mushrooms. Don't eat red mushrooms ever. So that was a mini mushroom lesson. And don't dig the mushrooms. You'll get 2 from digging them, but they won't grow back. So unless you're playing lights out, and they actually will never come out, because red mushrooms come out during the day, green during the afternoon, and blue at night. Do I make videos for entertainment or money? Entertainment. I do make money off YouTube, but I don't make a lot. So if I were to just get a part-time job for minimum wage, I'd be making a lot more money than doing this. So, okay, kiting, fun times. Ready? Hit him. This guy's gonna fuck my kiting. Those guys, I'm actually going to do a kiting and fighting guide, so look out for that. It's going to be like, honestly, I started writing it today, and I'm always like, I'm going to do a 10-minute video on kiting, but it's going to be like an hour long, and it's going to be in like 4 sections. Because I just get into it because I start talking about like tanking and why you would tank and when you would tank and when you wouldn't tank. And then I'm like, well, I gotta talk about armor. I'm gonna talk about tanking. So I start talking about armor, and then I'm like, let's talk about kiting. Then I'm like, well, I gotta talk about weapons if I'm gonna talk about kiting, and you gotta talk about speed and speed bonuses too. And then I start talking, and I'm like, all right, well, let's talk about kiting. And I'm like, well, we're gonna have to talk about the special enemies that you have to kite in a different pattern. I'm like, okay, so let's talk about those. And so I'm basically gonna split it into tanking, or controls, tanking, and armor, and then the next section is probably going to be kiting and weapons, and then it's going to be special enemies, and I'm not including bosses because I'm going to do a whole guide on bosses. I'm writing a shitload of tutorials, by the way, and I'm probably going to do most of them now that I'm like doing this like literally like 24 hours a week minimum. Honey is a good food source, but it's a good early game food source because bees are easy to kill. And I don't ever set up honey farms because people do, but it takes a long time to set up honey farm, and you don't get much from it. Like setting up bee boxes, it takes a lot of wood, and you have to kill the bees for the honeycomb, but you don't get much out of it. I can show you a really cool way to do that too. Okay. Shipwreck Don't Starve tips. Someone asked this on another stream, and I said, same thing I said before, is I don't know how to make tips because it's not specific. I do have a series, and you can watch that. I'm not breaking the pig heads. I don't have a hammer on me. I have a hammer back at my base. And I'm not making another one if I have one at my base because I don't want like 10 hammers. But otherwise, you would break those pig heads because you get pig skin, and you can use it to make football helmets, which I don't really need right now. But I'll come back here when I need them. How many hours and don't starve? I don't know. Where's my Windows key? You can check that pretty easily. A bunch of vocal spam. Best is 12 or 15. That's cool. It takes time. Read the wiki if you want to be better, or watch videos of people playing and pick up tips from them. In Don't Starve, I have 270 hours in this game. All inclusive. I only have one account for Steam. The drying rack is godly, but completely unnecessary for survival, but godly. If you're ever gonna do endgame stuff and you just want to like not give a shit about food, you should be exclusively eating jerky the entire game. However, it takes a lot of investment to get the drying racks up because you have to get a lot of grass and twigs, and the only way to get a lot of grass and twigs besides being in the desert for a long time, which is where you would go to farm it if you're if you just wanna, if you have Rain of Giants installed and you want a bunch of grass and twigs, you either farm it like that, or if you're Wicker Bottom, you can regrow a giant field of grass and twigs, and that's the best way to do it. But every other character, I always suggest planting saplings and grass stuffs because it's really nice in the winter and stuff when you just have them in your base. But it's probably not the most efficient way to farm. You probably just want to go to the desert and just sit there and do tumbleweeds, and you also get other stuff and a chance for gears and gems. So highest amount of days survived. Theoretically infinite. Most of my worlds that I've survived, every world that I've survived for longer than 100 days, save a few, are still going. And some of them around 400, 500. But you get bored. I get bored before I could ever die from stuff. Like before you'd ever die. So these will all come back too. Because I'm just picking them and not doing this. But maybe I can get this? Oh yeah. Got it. 15 sanity. I'm just exploring right now because I wonder where everything is. When the winter comes, it's basically a necessity to know where the walrus hunting people are because I need to get a tam o'shanter from them and I need to get a walking cane from them. Preferably, I'd like a couple walking canes. And they only respawn every now and then, so I have to kill them like basically every time they're up. I have to kill them, or And it's random, so you can get a Tam O'Shanter and a Walrus Tusk the first time, or you can never get it. In 500 sounds impressive, but for those of you who are new, the thing is, how do I say this? Once you survive 100 days, it's actually probably easier to survive to 500 than it is to get to day 20. Every day that you survive, and you do a good job surviving, you're not like running away from shadow creatures and dying and have 2 health. Every day that you survive, the game gets easier because you have more stuff. There's nothing in the game that gets progressively harder. The only thing that gets progressively harder is the Hound Waves. And since you can deal with that by using resources to make things to deal with them, it gets easier. The first Hound Wave is infinitely harder than a Hound Wave at day 500 where you just kill them with tooth traps, or you put them to sleep and destroy them. Or you put them in, like, go near a beefalo pen, or do whatever you want, but you can just kill them. So nothing in this game gets progressively harder. The only thing that gets progressively harder is if you're not keeping up with stuff and you're progressively getting weaker and weaker and less health and less sanity, and you don't know how to deal with it. But once you know how to deal with it, the game's easy, man. Yeah, so there's set pieces for everything. Someone said got a walking cane from Dead Skeleton. Set pieces for everything. I gotta start reading comments because I realize people can't read them but me. Alright, so we've explored everything. We got this right here. Boop. That's gonna be one. Swamp. Usually there's some here in these biomes, but there isn't any. Usually there's some near rocky biomes, but there isn't any. I'm zoomed way the hell in because I don't want to miss one. So we only have 1 walrus hunting camp, which is actually pretty bad. You want 3, but you want them, like, I would want, like, all 3 to be, like, up here. So, like, I don't have to deal with walking into them all the time and them harassing me. Where does these wormholes go? This one's this one. I only have 2 wormholes? What the fuck, dude? This map is, like, tiny. It also depends on how big your map is. In some food which I can cook of monster meat. If you do monster meat in 3 ice, 3 berries, 3 carrots, 3 butterfly wings, 3 mushrooms, or any combination of those 3, like any 3 filler, it'll get you meatballs. Run only eating seeds? That would be stupid. I'm not doing that. A lot of challenge runs people ask me to do are just not good challenge runs because it's just tedious stuff. Like, if I was just only doing seeds, like, I would just eventually die because I don't find seeds, or nothing would happen, and it would be just a normal run. I would just eat a lot of seeds. Since there's really no way to, like, produce a heavy amount of seeds. Basically, what you would do, though, in that situation is you would make, a farm very early on. It's fall now, right? So I can actually make a... Now I gotta make a Prestihatinator. You make farms very early on and then make a bunch of vegetables, or you collect a bunch of carrots and then you get a bird early on and you just feed it carrots and it'll give you carrot seeds, which are technically seeds, and you eat all those seeds. And then you'd have a bunch of farms and you just farm, and instead of farming and getting dragon fruit, you'd farm and eat seeds, and it would be really dumb. That'd be like the dumbest run ever. That's why I don't do challenge runs, because half of them are, like, really stupid. There's some actual legit challenge runs that I think would be cool to do, but then there's the ones that's, like, 1 HP runs where it's just tedious as fuck. It's like, okay, well, I'm not going to pick Tumbleweed because I can get randomly killed. So... See, like... so much. And when this gets like halfway or like almost dead, I'll cook it to extend its life a little. And like I said, if you transplant this stuff, berry bushes, you always have like berries for filler for like emergency. All right, I guess we should do some drying racks though for real. How do you kill the firefly? He's really hard to kill. Jesus. I'm gonna make a boss guide. And I know that's not a good answer now, and it might be months, but if you put him to sleep, which you can do with a pan flute, sleepy type stories as Wicker Bottom, or you put 20 ashes on the ground, and he'll walk up and smoke those ashes and fall asleep. And then you put 14 gunpowder next to him and light it on fire, and then run away. That'll kill him. That's the easiest way to kill him. I do want to mention, the gunpowder basically has to be on his hitbox, not on his model, which is pretty big. So you gotta put him right snug up next to him. I have put it next to him and it not been close enough and not done any damage, and that's depressing. Alright. What's my opinion of Josh McCool stuff? I'm not talking about other YouTubers on my channel, honestly. That's a bad idea. Don't interpret that as like I don't like him. I don't want to talk about any other YouTubers on my channel because I'm sure there's some YouTubers out there that I'm not really a fan of. Not specifically him, once again. I'm not like, don't interpret it as like I don't want to talk about because I want to talk about him. There are some YouTubers I don't really like, and I don't want to talk about any of them because if I talk about some of them and not others, it's clear the ones I don't want to talk about and I don't like. And I don't want to be the guy that's like, this guy sucks, this guy sucks. I really don't. So I'm not going to talk about any other YouTubers, really. I think a lot of people don't understand, though, that people are very new to this game, and they kind of act like you're an idiot if you don't know basic shit, but it's not like everyone's well-versed at this game. It's like, people have different experience levels. It gets frustrating when people are, like, making videos, and they're very mean. 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Alright, we need, like, a berry. What? Where do I have like pine cones? Oh, I fucked all my pine cones up. That sucks. Alright. Yeah, the rings for a teleportato and on the edgy rig thing, I'm not talking about them. Talk about them with shading. Don't use their names. Nah. Just not gonna talk about them. I just think a lot of people who play games in general and are really good. This is the default size world. I normally have it on large, which makes it seem bigger, and I like it because there's just more stuff to do, but... Now we just gotta do some, chopping and gathering, so if you guys have questions, this would be a really good time for it. I want to relatively clear out this area, because, I'm gonna be making, like, a big base, so... Oh yeah, bees. Bee trick. This is fun. Lighter. A shovel. I'll just grab. Don't apologize for the question. Juicy berries are better and don't starve together if you're playing Wolfgang, I think, honestly. If you don't let them spoil, then you're fine. And playing Wolfgang, I wouldn't play Wolfgang until you're really, really comfortable with food, but then afterwards, he's actually a really good character. I'd say he's probably like the second or third best character. The only reason I like WX better is because he moves faster, and because in the base game, combat is so unnecessary that it's stupid. Alright, so yeah, ready? If I attack this, the bees will come out and try and kill me. Well, that's embarrassing. Here's a... But you get the picture. I'll go do it on another one. I want these ashes, though. Alright. Lol. I do want to demonstrate this, though. So it says bees are homeless. They'll actually make flowers and stuff. It's actually really cool. And then we'll do some work. Pick flowers around them next time. So you can do this for pigs too. All the honey's gone, but it doesn't really matter. Honeycombs are actually not renewable, so some people would like try and murder me for doing this. All right, so there's nothing around this one. So all right, so ready. All the bees leave. Extinguish. Yeah. Bees, normal bees do not give a shit if I attack their honeycomb. And since these are all normal bees, they don't care. And if I light it on fire and extinguish it, it forces all the bees to leave, and it doesn't burn it down. That's how you collect honeycombs the easy way. The other way would be to just kill all the bees, because bees get sunlocked and are very easy to kill. See? You just hold F. But I don't want to go kill them all, because I don't need them. Should you sub? I don't know. Do you want to sub? Do you want to do it? I think you should. I'm gonna murder this guy for now. I don't have enough space for all this food, though. That's the real difficult part of Don't Starve, is like, how do you even have space for all the food you have? It's just too much. Put this down. Okay. We're digging stuff. Is Wilbur any good? Wilbur's really fun. I don't know if he's good. Hard to say. He's like actually worse at kiting, although he's faster, because he has like a slow startup speed and then he runs. So he actually goes pretty fast when he runs, but his startup speed is like kind of shitty. Dark Sword or Cutlass? The Cutlass Supreme is actually better in like every single way. It literally just doesn't drain sanity. It's like, why would you ever use a Dark Sword when you have a Cutlass Supreme? Unless you're Maxwell and sanity is not a problem whatsoever, I'd say you always want to use the Cutlass Supreme. And they're so easily farmable. And one of the things about the Dark Sword is like they're not farmable really, because you need living logs. This asshole. I don't need the food, but I kill these guys in principle. He's eating all the berry bushes like a douchebag. Come on. Alright, there we go. You get him in the corner of the map, he can't do shit. Shitter. Oh no. He got away. Alright. At least hounds are coming. Oh no. He has 1 health. What do I do? So road makes this really easy. So fast. You just wait for one of them to bark, and you just fight the other one. Just punch him to death. I wouldn't recommend doing this, by the way. It's just slow as fuck. I could actually go get a spear, but I just want to show you how easy it is. You could do this with a bunch. It would just take forever. So don't. And I'll cover all this in my fighting guide. Hey, fuck off. This requires a tentacle spike. This guy's being a dick. Oh shit, I hit this. I use Control F as it's like a hotkey I have, because otherwise you would have a different button for hitting butterflies and hitting everything else, and I think that's kind of dumb. Okay. Yeah, I was being mean to Chester. That's not cool. Alright, I guess it's behaving now. Before, I, like, literally couldn't plant anything next to each other. I don't know why. I don't know what caused that glitch. That's what these are. Like, it wouldn't let me. It's like, please. Oh my god, developers. See, like, here. I had this type of hubaloo going on. But these ones are actually super easy. You just dig them out and replant them because you don't have to fertilize them. But those, I don't want to dig and replant. And then we see if it'll, like, behave. Like, I don't fucking want to plant them this far away. What is this? That's so annoying, to be honest. How long have I been playing Don't Starve? I don't know. On and off for a long time. Tank them with good armor. So, I'm going to talk about that in my guide. You should not tank things like hounds. Like, you pretty much should never tank hounds. There's not a good reason to, because you're actually just wasting resources, and it doesn't really save time either. Because they stun lock you when they hit you. So it takes a shitload of time to kill them. Like, if you're tanking one, it's faster, but it's so marginally faster that it really doesn't make sense to tank hounds ever. Can I talk a little louder? Not really. Is it, like, hard to hear me? I have to, like, turn the volume up. Is the game volume a little loud compared to the voice volume? Let's get an opinion going, chat. Because if it is, I will adjust it, but... No, yes. Sounds like it's probably pretty good. Can I not do that by accident? Oh shit, I need to go get Glommer. I'll turn it down a little bit, smidgen. Just a smidgen. There we go. It's a little loud. I turn it down a little bit for you guys. Let me know if that's better. Alright, let's do an... Ooh, this is a really short night. I forgot that it's fucking fall. I don't even know if I'll make it on time. I wouldn't call it a hardcore game. It's pretty easy, actually. Once you get used to it. It's a very unforgiving game. I definitely agree with that. It's super unforgiving. Oh my god, if I don't get this flower, then I'm actually throwing this game right now. I'm not gonna get it, there's no way. It's too far away. Yep. Fuck. What do I do? He's gone. Alright. That does nothing, so don't worry about doing that. But I do want to learn the old bell blueprint, because I have enough to make an old bell. I keep the Glommer usually for the sanity boost if I'm playing Willow, because sanity is terrible for her. There's definitely times where you should tank, and there's definitely times where you should kite. I think most of the time you should be kiting unless you have a very specific reason to tank. I know a lot of people literally just tank because they're bad at the game and they don't know how to kite, and that's absolutely not a good thing. Like, if you can't tank, if you can't kite, then yeah, tanking's your only option. But you shouldn't you shouldn't be like, well, I suck, so I'm not gonna do this. You should be like, well, let's get better. Like, let's learn how to kite. I'll talk about that in my guide. I don't think it's like, I don't like it when, People aren't good at something, so they just don't do it. I think that's like, that sucks. Especially in like a game. You should work on it, because you can do it. Hi everyone, Terminuma. When I was 6, my sister was half my age, 3. I'm now 70. How old is she? 67. Fucking easy. Give me that shit. In DSC, do I think Wolfgang or Wicker is better? Oh my god, that's a hard one. I don't know. If I'm playing solo DSD, I play Wolfgang over Wicker. If you're part of a team, you're playing with multiple people, having a Wicker is better than having a Wolfgang. That makes sense. So, if I'm picking one, I'll pick Wolfgang. If I'm part of a team, I'll make sure that the team has a Wicker, because she provides so much utility to the team, but since a large part of DSC is actually killing bosses with giant health pools, it's really nice to have Wolfgang. And Wicker doesn't have any speed bonuses, so he's kind of... Wolfgang's kind of the best of both worlds. If you're doing 3 people, I normally either do Wolfgang, who can be the person who mostly tanks bosses, or not tanks, mostly fights bosses, and then you have a Wicker Bottom who can make all that stuff, get an early alchemy engine, make backpacks for you when you walk in. She can regrow all your food, because actually there's a lot of people, and it can be kind of annoying to constantly be going to get food for everyone, and sometimes people aren't very good. And then when you have a third character, I would say either Maxwell or WX. WX is super good at doing a bunch of stuff because he can get like overcharged like crazy from Wicker, but Maxwell's like the best at harvesting in that game. So that's the answer to that question. Who's the worst for DSD? Woody. Woody or Wicker? Legit unplayable. What's my opinion on Weber? He's like not that great of a character, but people seem to really like him because you can eat monster meat and befriend spiders, but it's not actually that helpful. Get the minerals. Get them. I know you want the minerals. I know you want them. If I eat. Ah, fuck. Made a new hole. I'll talk about Weber in like 2 seconds. I don't want these guys around my base because they'll take minerals if I leave them on the ground. So, Weber's not that great. There's really nothing he has that no one else has. Besides, because you can actually befriend spiders just by wearing a spider hat. I don't know if like people are like, you can befriend spiders. So can every other character. And he can eat monster meat, but you can also just... I'm eating monster meat right now. Like, boom, eating monster meat. So like, if you were to eat monster meat as Weber, it's actually way less efficient than cooking it. So there's no reason to eat monster meat. Let's cook some cactus flesh. So before I eat this cooked cactus flesh, I'm gonna do this. Because I want to use the blue mushrooms to regain some stuff, but this will help me. Because I'm going to lose standing, I'm going to gain standing anyway from eating these, so... There we go. I'll probably plant these. I just let food spoil because I have so much of it. Oh shit. Oh my god, so many comments. How do YouTubers do this when they have like 1 million people watching? I only have 20. What the fuck? I mean, streamers, not YouTubers. What am I talking about? Shipwreck together? Not gonna happen. I don't think that'll ever happen. I could be wrong, but it'd be too much work for them to implement that. If you really think about, like, there's different seasons. It's crazy. Abigail's not permanent, buddy. Abigail is as temporary as they come. She dies all the time later in the game. She's really good at fighting spiders, and then other things that can be sunlocked, like bees, she's really good at fighting, but she's really bad at fighting mass groups of things and bosses in mass groups of hounds, so. And one thing that people don't know about Abigail, or haven't thought about, is that Abigail can get you absolutely wrecked, because she will tank red hounds in your base, and you have to run or log out, because if she kills them and sets your base on fire, dude, that sucks. I've had that happen. Who's the worst? The worst character, the reason I said Woody's the worst character at DST is because, well, lots of reasons, but let's start out with the fact that he gains sanity from planting saplings, which isn't very beneficial whatsoever. It's okay. He constantly goes werebeaver, and werebeaver is super nerfed because it doesn't actually make you invincible, and you can still take a ton of damage. So, like, going werebeaver is, like, way useless. You don't want to go werebeaver, but it still happens all the time, and you have to constantly gain sanity and eat wood, so you're wasting wood to not go werebeaver when you could instead play a character that has no... And there's nothing really he does great, because he doesn't even chop wood faster than Maxwell. A lot of people are like, well, we need someone to chop wood fast, so let's have him on our team, but Maxwell with his servants chops wood 10 times faster and has no sanity problems. And has no going werebeaver problems. I've played him a couple times in DST, and I spent like half the game like trying to not be a werebeaver so I could contribute to my team, because they were like, "Oh yeah, let's do this." I'm like, "Hold on, I'm a werebeaver for like half a year." How do I have 20 viewers with 5K subs? People don't want to watch me live stream; they want to watch my YouTube videos, dude. And a lot of my subscribers are from 1 or 2 videos that got really popular. I didn't like gradually get a following, and now I have like millions of people watching my videos. That's why if you look at my channel, you'll see that all my new videos have like 100 views. And subscribing on YouTube is like nothing compared to Twitch. On Twitch, if you had 5K subscribers, it'd be insane if you only had 20 viewers. But on YouTube, since subscribing is just pressing a button, it's not like paying money. People just subscribe because they're like, oh, this guy might make something I like. So, it's like there's no obligation, so. Okay. What is that? I'm just being boring, so if you guys have questions, like that, now is the time. I could go get a shitload of stuff, actually. Can't type today. You can just eat wood, but like you're wasting wood, and every other character doesn't have to eat wood to not go werebeaver. And that's like my point, is like a lot of times people are like, well, you could just do X to X, but it's like, or you could play a character that doesn't have that problem. Because it's not like every character has problems. It's like some characters have like crazy hard things. Not like hard, crazy, annoying things. Like Willow lighting fires. Well, you could just go above 60 sanity. Or you could just play a character who has no disbenefits. A character who has a bunch of special powers and really no negatives. Like WX78, Wolfgang. His only negatives, his hunger drops faster. But like, if you're good on hunger, then the whole game you're just mighty. Like, playing mighty Wolfgang versus playing another character. Like, if you could be mighty all the time, why would you not play Wolfgang? But you can be mighty all the time. That's actually kind of a normal thing in Don't Starve, is that like weird thing where you run back and forth. I'm planting these kind of far away. I like how it looks. Don't judge me. Alright. I am from the United States of America. Home of the brave. And of the free. And some other people too. I like Shipwrecked. It's a really good addition. Jerky or meatballs? Jerky's better. Meatballs is easier to do for newcomers. And requires way less setup. Like, way less setup. Shipwrecked adds a lot of really, really, really cool stuff to the game, to be honest. So it could be kind of boring, but... Material that you always need and never have. I don't know. Depends on the game. Lately, I've been looking for coffee in every single... I'm looking for, like, the volcano to get coffee in every single game I'm playing, every single map, and I never find it. Like, I don't know. I'm, like, cursed. Or wood. And that's not because... Wood and grass. That's not because it's hard to get. That's because you need so much wood and grass in this game that... And there's really no great way to farm wood besides, like... there's some kind of cheap ways you can do it. Which I'll do, probably, because I don't care. I'm gonna, like, do some crazy ways to farm this stuff in this playthrough. What Torfab boss? Logs, man. Yeah, every time you make a base, it turns out you need 500 logs to build it. Basically, I always need wood, especially in DSD, because I really want my chests to be all sorted, all nicely. So I find that, like, half the time I'm like, hey, Blaine, can you go chop some wood today? Do I have a funny nickname? No. Yeah, the Beargar and the Old Bell. Or you could just go find a rook, and he'll rampage in a forest. If you find a rook in a forest, it's like, every time I find a rook in a forest, they just let him, like, destroy the forest. But every time that happens, it's like the first tree he destroys becomes a tree guard, which will destroy him. Because I don't want to get in between them two and get actually wrecked, so I just, like, let it happen. Alright, I'm almost done clearing this out. The Beargar is another one. If you just, like, need a bunch of logs and Beargar's there, just go to piss him off and go to a forest. Make sure you don't, like, run past anything you don't want destroyed, because he will destroy it. I've never got a Krampus sack. Fun fact. I'm not even exaggerating. I've never gotten one. I've killed the Krampus thousands of times, too. There's a couple of games where I farmed it for, like, a long time. I've just never gotten one. I know what it is. I know how to get it. The tree guard, it's not that he catches up to the rook. It's that the rook will, like, eventually run into him, and then will keep running into him to kill him because it gets pissed off, and then gets actually wrecked because the tree guard has 10 times more health and does a shitload of damage. Do you kill tree guards or try to calm them? I kill them. The only reason I'd ever try and calm one is so I have it later to fight a boss or something, but I just fight all my bosses myself. The only boss that I don't like fighting myself because it's kind of annoying is the dragonfly, because it requires a lot of setup to fight yourself or a lot of speed. And he's really bad at killing the tree guard will just destroy him. This game gets a little boring playing by yourself unless you have goals. So you need goals to make this game not boring. Like, I want to do this run. Yeah, you can kill tree guards with your fists. It would take forever, but they're really not hard to kill. Notice you, senpai. Dude, I've answered your questions like 20 times. What more do you want? You're so needy. Chat, what the fuck? How do you get the walking stick? During winter, these little rings on the ground become igloos, and there'll be a hunting party with 2 frost hounds, a Mac Tusk and a Mac Junior. And if you kill the Mac Tusk, they have a chance of dropping a Walrus Tusk, and they also have a chance of dropping a Tam O'Shanter. And Tam O'Shanter is a really good item, and so is that. You can make a walking cane out of, I think it's sticks, gold, and Mac Tusk thing. It's in here. It's in dress. Like, I don't have a prototype. That's how you make a walking cane. Well, we're out. Too late. What do I do? Got no logs. Right. I'm just gonna leave the flowers because they'll just make a bunch of butterflies, which I'm later gonna make like butterfly gardens and stuff. But it's so good. Oh my god. Oh my god. Done. See, like, eventually your food will, like, you're just like, I don't have any food, but it's fine. Alright. Cactuses are a filler. Most things are a filler. If you can put something in a crock pot, it counts as a filler. Unless it makes another recipe that you don't want to make, then it's not a filler for that recipe. Do I do streams every day? My stream schedule... Let's do this real quick. The link I just posted goes to my Discord. So on my Discord, you can talk to me, ask me stuff, suggest games. If you want to play, I can play sometimes. And there's also a useful links section that has a calendar in it, a Google Calendar, where I put when I'm going to be posting all my YouTube videos and when I'm going to stream. Right now, I'm streaming 4 hours each weekend. 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. EST. And it'll be all on my calendar unless I just like decide to stream one night, which might happen, but I'm pretty busy during the week. A Discord, it's like a voice chat client, but like also like a text client and like a chat room. It's like all combined, so it's really good. So if you go to discord.com, you can download it for free, or you can just do it on the website, and it's actually really good because you can just like kind of check in on stuff. Discord is cool. I honestly really like it. I used to just do Mumble for voice chat, but now I do Discord because it's so convenient because you can have everything all together. It looks kind of ugly like that, but I don't care. Yeah, I'm not going to plant 2 right there. I'm gonna, before oxygen not clear, I might take a break for eating. I'm not sure. Or I might just eat while I'm streaming. Oh, now these things aren't being that difficult. I couldn't plant these right next to each other before. Now I think I probably could. Alright. Can you talk to me? You can talk to me on Discord. You can chat to me all you want, and I'll answer pretty much most things. It's not really actually, I don't have a big enough following right now where like I have to like not answer people. And you can also talk during my streams. I pretty much always answer you. I mean, it might take a while to get to you, but if I'm playing, but I pretty much answer everyone. So hop in the Discord if you really want to chat or do anything. That's my biggest recommendation. Because otherwise I just can't like. My Steam friends list is not full. I don't even know if it can be full. Okay, so it looks like I'm gonna go eat real quick because I'm hungry, and I'm gonna be streaming for another like 2 hours. So I'm gonna go do that. So I'm gonna hop off while I do that. Real quick, but I will be back. But I want to say a couple things before I leave. I just gotta like organize this stuff so it doesn't drive me crazy. I don't want to waste logs. I don't waste logs now that I have the lanterns. A lot more convenient for night. And I'm gonna go get a press hat in here now that I have all these logs. Okay. We'll just drop these here for now. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go eat. But I wanna say a couple things. I'm gonna answer some things. Deserve more subs. Prefer me eating. I don't really want to eat in the stream just because my mic is like my face. I have a headset and it's kind of in my face. I'm gonna be having turkey, and mashed potatoes. So my mic's kind of really cheap and old. It's like I bought it for like 50 bucks and it was like a long time ago. I want like an actual microphone. I'm wearing a headset right now, but I can't really afford to upgrade anything right now. And honestly, I'd spend my first upgrades on my computer so I could stream stuff like Overwatch. So I just want to say real quick while everyone's here how much I appreciate people coming out to watch my stream. A lot of people say like I deserve more subs and stuff like that, and I really appreciate that. But I mean, the fact of the matter is I don't. I don't have that many viewers and stuff like that. So it means so much more to me that like people come and watch my stream. And honestly, even the little things like being able to say like address people as chat and not just like there's one person in my stream I can be like stop trolling me chat and stuff like that. That means a lot to me, and I'm not trying to get emotional or anything, but it's really cool, and I really wish like someday it'd be cool if I had a big following. And I probably don't want to do YouTube full time, but it is nice to be able to talk to people and have people come and enjoy my content. So if you keep enjoying my content, I really appreciate watching my videos. What I really appreciate too is people like watching other videos too, like watching the games that you don't necessarily play, like Sunless Sea or Don't Starve, because I think that's awesome. When people come to my channel for Don't Starve and they appreciate the tips, that's cool. But if I can give you another game that like means a lot to you or was fun, then that's a better goal for me. Is like I want my viewers to experience a lot of the games that I really love. So So I just want to say that before I leave. I'm going to be back in like 15 minutes. So if you guys want to just take a break and come back or leave the window open, I'm going to take the stream down for a little bit because I don't want the recording on YouTube to include like 50 minutes of me doing nothing. So I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. I'll play a little bit more Don't Starve, or I might just hop into Oxygen Not Included. So thank you guys.